Gordon Head.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, since the Metro Vancouver Transit referendum failed earlier this year, we've been waiting for signs that this government understands the challenges facing the Lower Mainland's transit infrastructure and that it understands the leadership role it needs to play. Honourable Speaker, the appointment of a new minister responsible for Translink signalled to many that government was about to take its leadership role seriously. We heard almost immediately from the minister, Honourable Speaker, that, and I quote, "nothing is off the table," and that he had an open mind to changing the way Translink was managed. And yet, Honourable Speaker, only a couple of months after those comments were made, we have heard that in closed meeting the minister took the idea of giving more control over Translink to local governments off the table. Through you, Honourable Speaker, can the minister please let this House know what has changed since he said all options were on the table and what the minister's plan is to ensure that the much-needed transit investments aren't put off until it's too late?
Minister of Community, Sport and Cultural Development.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and I appreciate the question because the meeting that I had with the Mayor's Council, I clearly said that we are willing to work with the leadership in the region to move towards solutions, not focusing on the problems, but look at opportunities for solutions. But I also challenged the mayors, Madam Speaker, for them to step up to their leadership role in working with the board that they appoint, Madam Speaker, to ensure that we find the path to solutions, that we look at the options that are available, and to remember, Madam Speaker, that this government has invested billions of dollars in transportation in the province and in Metro Vancouver. And Madam Speaker, this government is committed to working with the leadership in the region to find the solutions that will ensure an integrated transportation system for the citizens and for the movement of goods and services.
Oak Bay, Gordon Head.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to explore that a little more. The question of local control is critical because the province is dramatically under-resourcing its local governments, all the while requiring them to pay for a third of the transit costs. Furthermore, Honourable Speaker, both the Minister and the Premier have slammed the door on the Mayor's plans to develop new innovative funding solutions, saying that they will require a new referendum if they are to be considered. The government, frankly, Honourable Speaker, has paralysed transit planning in Metro Vancouver. And, Honourable Speaker, they have abdicated their responsibility to show British Columbia's leadership. My question to the Minister responsible for Translink is this. Since the provincial government clearly has no interest in providing leadership on the transit file, how does the Minister expect local governments to move forward if the province is blocking local control over Translink and preventing local governments from even considering innovative ways to make up for their lack of financial resources?
Minister of Community, Sport and Cultural Development.
Well, Madam Speaker, I know the member probably doesn't know this or is choosing to ignore it, but I'm sure his taxpayers are very clear that they're paying hospital tax that is not being paid by the residents of Metro Vancouver. Right. Yeah. Also, Madam Speaker, clearly from the day that I was appointed, the first thing I did was select two very capable people to sit on the Translink board as government representatives to clearly show that we are engaged in finding solutions and are willing to work with the region to ensure those solutions are found. In addition, Madam Speaker, it is very clear this government has said our funding support for transit infrastructure development is on the table, and we're simply asking the region to come forward with their recommendations on how they will fund their third. And Madam Speaker, I find it interesting that the members opposite it as well are opposed to asking the residents of Metro their opinion on future funding sources, because indeed, Madam Speaker, they have a right to do that, and this government will give them that right.